Credit card companies make billions from debt, so why are they giving free flights, cashback, and luxury perks to some users? And how are a small group of people using the same system without ever losing money? Because on the surface, this looks like a mistake banks are not supposed to lose. Yet every year, millions of dollars in rewards are quietly given away. Free travel, cashback, hotel upgrades. No interest paid, no debt traps, just pure benefit. So the real question becomes, if the system is designed to profit from users, why does it also reward the people who don't generate profit? And more importantly, who is actually funding all of this? Because once you understand the answer, you realize something uncomfortable. The system was never broken. It was designed this way. To understand this, you need to stop thinking about credit cards as payment tools. Because banks don't see them that way anymore. They see something else. Behavior patterns. A credit card swipe is not just a transaction. It's a data point, a prediction, a behavioral signal. But here's the part most people never notice. Banks don't make money from every user equally. Some users are extremely profitable, and others are quietly expensive to the system. And strangely, the expensive users are not the disciplined ones. They are the emotional ones. Imagine two users. One pays full balance every month, never pays interest, uses the card for everything, collects cashback and rewards. The other misses payments, carries balance, pays interest monthly, and uses credit for lifestyle spending. Now here's the shocking truth. Banks love the second user. Why? Because that user generates continuous profit, interest compounds, fees accumulate. Behavior becomes predictable. But the first user, the disciplined one, they are not profitable in the traditional sense. So why does the system still reward them? Because they are not the product, they are the bait. Rewards exist to attract millions of emotional users who will never behave like them. That's the contradiction. The system doesn't reward discipline because it values discipline. It rewards discipline because discipline sells debt. A financial analyst once shared something interesting. He manages corporate spending systems for a consulting firm, tracking employee credit card usage. And he noticed something unusual. A small group of employees, maybe 10%, were consistently profiting from their cards, cashback earnings. Travel points, free upgrades. One employee had collected over $8,000 worth of travel benefits in 2 years. And yet, he was also the most financially stable person in the team. No debt. No missed payments. No stress. So the obvious question came up. How is this sustainable for the bank? The answer from internal training was simple. We don't lose money on disciplined users. We lose money on behavior patterns. That line changes everything. Because it means the system is not designed around individuals. It is designed around averages. And averages explain everything. But here's the part almost nobody asks. If cashback programs are so generous, why are credit card companies becoming richer every year? Because most people don't behave like disciplined users. They behave emotionally. They spend more than they planned. They justify purchases because of rewards. They ignore long-term cost, not because they are careless, but because spending feels less real. When people pay with cash, there is immediate emotional pain. But with cards, that pain is delayed, and delayed pain changes behavior. People spend more without realizing it. That's why everything in modern finance is designed to remove friction. Tap to pay. One-click checkout. Buy now, pay later. Subscription everything, because friction slows spending, and spending is the engine. But this raises a dangerous question. What happens to an economy when millions of people stop feeling the psychological pain of spending money? The answer is visible everywhere. Installment culture, subscription lifestyle, micropayments, everything broken into small, manageable chunks. Not because it is cheaper, but because it feels easier. And easier always increases consumption. Think about this carefully. Why would companies intentionally make payments smaller instead of making products cheaper? Because smaller payments increase approval rate, not affordability. Approval. And approval is everything. But here's where it becomes strange. If the system profits from emotional spending, why does it still encourage rewards for disciplined users? Because rewards are not profit tools. They are marketing tools. They are designed to change perception. People don't join credit cards for debt. They join for benefits. Cashback.miles.perks.status. And once they enter, behavior takes over. And then the story takes a strange turn. Because hidden inside this system designed to profit from emotional spending, there's a tiny group of people using the exact same system against the banks themselves. So how are they doing it without becoming trapped like everyone else? They remove emotion completely. They treat credit cards like math. Not lifestyle. They spend normally, but never carry balances. Never pay interest. Never justify purchases using rewards. And over time, the system starts working in their favor. Cashback accumulates. Points stack. Flights become free. Hotels become cheaper. To outsiders, it looks like cheating, but it is not cheating. It is alignment. Because the system rewards predictable behavior, not emotional behavior, and that's the key difference. But maybe the biggest manipulation was never interest rates. What if the real product being sold wasn't convenience but identity itself? Credit cards don't just sell payment systems, they sell a version of who you are. Premium, elite, responsible, rewarded, and once identity enters spending, logic becomes weaker. People don't ask, do I need this? They ask, what does this say about me? And that is where spending explodes. Because identity is far more powerful than budgeting. Now look at modern life. Most people don't feel financially trapped because of one big expense. It's hundreds of small ones. Subscriptions, installments, monthly plans, tiny charges that feel harmless individually, but create permanent pressure together. Not poverty, but dependency. And dependent users are predictable users, and predictable users are profitable users. And that leads to the most uncomfortable question. If modern financial systems are built around predicting human behavior, how much of your spending is actually your own decision? Because the system doesn't need to force you anymore. It only needs to guide you. And most of the time, you follow it willingly. So yes, some people are quietly earning thousands from credit card companies without paying interest. But not because they discovered a secret trick, but because they stopped behaving emotionally. And maybe that is the real truth. The system was never designed to reward intelligence. It was designed to reward predictable behavior. And most people never realize they are predictable long before they become profitable.